So here's where we are on the 85 C10. Keep an eye on Craigslist, looking for $700 R4. Also looking for 350s or 350Cs. I actually came across a post where a guy was said he wasn't sure if he had a 700 R4 or a 350, and I'm guessing his confusion is because this is a 350C. It's got the plug. So, and it's got the pan like a 350, and a 700 R4 doesn't have a little switch on the side. But and it's got a vacuum modulator, or a spot for one. So I picked up this 350C cheap. He said he bought it or whatever and didn't use it, and but it was supposed to be good. Got the converter with it. Like I said, I got this one cheap with the intention of rebuilding. He said the pan had been off of it, so he didn't have all the pan bolts, and so, you know, of course I looked in the pan and it's clean, so you can't really tell anything about it. It's clean because the pan's been off, and it's there's no filter on it, so you can't look at the filter and see if it's got junk in it. So, like I said, bought it with intentions to rebuild it, just hoping at least it's a good case. The transmission itself may be good, but since it's unknown, I don't want to just throw it in there and run it. It's got some rust on the input shaft. It looks like it's been sitting for a while. And then, I don't know if when they took it out, if it hit the ground, it's got some dirt and grime in the output shaft. So, needs a little bit of cleaning. We'll clean it up, and then we'll tear it apart. It's probably going to end up being good inside. The valve body itself looks clean. You know, I looked it over pretty good, and didn't see any little bits of metal shavings stuck anywhere to the valve body or anything. So it's probably fine, but since I'm this far, a rebuild kit is $75. That's all the clutches, all the steels, all the seals, gaskets, pretty much everything except any of the big hard parts, and it only comes with 2 of the bushings. I think the pump bushing and the output bushing. So, bought that kit. I figured I could get away without doing all the bushings because my other transmission only had 10,000 miles on it. I think we put all bushings in it. So I'll probably use most of the hard parts out of my other transmission, unless these just look better. So let's get it cleaned up. Got it kind of cleaned up, and let's tear into it. See what this thing looks like. Alright, so here's where we are so far. Got the valve body off. Still have the separator plate on there. I'll wait to take that off. Here's where we are so far. Inside, you can see where some rusty water made it into, or some water made it into there. Rusted that shaft a little bit. Just a little bit. So I'm glad I went ahead and tore into this thing. Otherwise, it's looking pretty clean. You can see that fluid's not the reddest. It's definitely got some miles on it. It could have some burnt clutches in it. But it's not terrible. So let's get it further apart and see what it looks like on down inside. Well, at this point, it's better than the other case. All these are good and intact. And so far, everything on the case looks good that I've gotten to. This thing was, you can see there's a real good clutch. This one's just about burnt up. The others are good though. But it was probably slipping or a little bit or about to get bad. All the hard parts so far are looking good. Bushings don't even look that bad. This one, you can see, it's not too bad. I haven't pulled any of the drums apart to see what the clutches look like in there. But at this point, I mean, it doesn't really matter what they look like. Probably going to use most of the hard parts out of that one, just because like this shaft, you know, it's got rust on it and stuff. And that one, you know, I know it's got good bushings, new bushings and all that in it. So let's get this clip out, get the rest of this out, see what it looks like. Alright, this is as far as I've gotten it tonight. I'm quitting for the night. But it looks good. I'm kind of debating whether I should get it hot tanked. I might just go ahead and do it. I'll either do that or soak it and pressure wash it. I might just pressure wash it. But it's almost completely apart so far. Everything's good on it. The only issue I found, of course I haven't taken any of the drums apart, was that one clutch in there. These clutches are all good. So I think this transmission was probably just starting to slip, and it may not even been noticeable yet, but I think we've got a good case to work with, and probably tomorrow or the next day I'll tear it down further, and depending on how far I get, if I don't get to the point of going back together with it, I'll probably, the transmission friend I've got, he's got a hot tank machine, I'll probably take it and get him to get it all cleaned out, and because he's ordering me the converter anyway. So if I can take this to him, then have him order the converter, and then I'll just go pick up the case and the converter. So anyway, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Oh, there's those parts. Oh, and like I said, I'll probably use most of the hard parts out of this transmission. I'll compare the bushings, whichever one's got the best bushings in it. I'll use it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Put a new ballast in that light. Now we got some more light now. Case looks good. I've got this thing as far torn apart as I'm going to tear it apart. I need to see if my kit came with this seal. If it does, I'll go ahead and take this out. But everything looks good on it. Case looks great. It's got one spot here. I don't know if it had a bad spot there or what, but it looks like somebody did some aluminum weld there. But I don't know, and it's got like a where somebody circled it in red. But on the other side of that, you know, is this thing, and it looks perfectly fine over here. So not sure what was going on there, but I don't see any cracking or anything. So we'll get it cleaned up and just take a look at everything. Look at that spot real close. Not sure what that is. Let this thing soak in some simple green or something, and then we'll pressure wash it, see if we can get it to clean up. But like I said, the case looks perfectly fine, so we're gonna use it. Alright, so let me get this thing cleaned up. Alright, it's not perfect, but combination of that and that, and a combination or a assortment of dollar store brushes. Oh, fell. Has got it pretty clean. There's still a little bit, but it's clean enough that it will stay clean putting it together, and that's the main goal, to make sure that no dirt and grime and stuff flakes off when I'm trying to assemble this thing. And for the most part, it's clean. Like I said, it's got, but I scrubbed all this with a brush, and that's what's left. So yeah, that stuff's not coming off. Well, put it that way, that stuff's not flaking off when I'm trying to assemble it. And of course pressure washed the inside out, and tried to get all the passages in the valve body, not too much pressure on it, just to kind of make sure there's nothing trash in there. And then I'm going to sit this thing out in the sun for a little bit, let it kind of bake, dry a little bit, then I'll carry it in and blow it out real good with the air compressor. Just get every little passage, everything all dried out, and it'll be ready to be assembled. I need to check that bushing in the back, see if it's in good shape. If not, I'll need to replace it, and we'll go from there. And we'll start looking at all of our drums and clutch packs, tearing them apart, and replace the clutches in them. So that's going to cut it for this video. Going to cut it for this video, and we will pick back up. The next video will be starting to assemble and rebuild this transmission. So thanks for watching.